All right, back where I left off there. Did you know that Einstein tried to convince the scientific community that there is a conscious, creative consciousness behind all of creation? He proved it to himself, and he wept many days because he helped create the hydrogen bomb. They used his information about the atoms to create weapons of destruction. And he tried to tell them what was behind it all. Let me try to give you a brief description of all this here thing. Hold on to your pants, okay? Because this is heavy. First of all, I was in the Navy in Hawaii, and I got injured down in the boiler room. I went to the hospital, and I was still in pain. And somehow, I knew that pain was an illusion like most things are. Somehow, I was able to make the pain stop and then go to sleep in absolute comfort. You see, the doctors, I was looking out the window in the hospital in Hawaii, overlooking the city, looking like candy out there. And my legs are still on fire like crazy. But I made the pain stop, and I was able to go to sleep. And I woke up the next day and said, what the heck was that? So I started studying all kinds of books, and my friends in the Navy asked me, why are you studying physics and all kinds of stuff? And I became very learned about a lot of things. And let me tell you, folks, there is a God, and He's working in your life. Not only is He working in your life, like away from you, helping you out, He's working in your life all the way. Listen up. Life is like a soup. Check out what I'm saying. All scientific things I'm about to say, please check them out for yourself. You can find them on YouTube if you want to check it out. Like, for example, there is no empty space. And there is no such thing as solid. All things that appear to be solid are made up of waves, energy waves, directed to be so condensed that they make up subatomic particles real small like quarks and things smaller than that, folks. All things that you see. The electron does not circle the atom. It blinks in and out of existence all around the atom so fast that anytime you look in one particular location, that's where it's at. And you look somewhere else, that's where it's at. Scientists have recently found out that the electron does not just blink in and out of existence randomly, but it blinks in and out of existence based on the perception of the person looking. They have done quantum experiments where they came up with the same results because they had certain expectations of why they started the experiment, and they got the same result. Other scientists disagreed with them, and they invited them into their labs. These scientists came in their labs, and they kept getting different results every time those scientists was in the lab. And when they put the scientists out, they got the same results. And then they found out, look at perception and how it affects the subatomic particles of this world where everything is made up. Check this out. Now, the electron blinks in and out of existence so fast that it seems like it's there all the time. It's like a shell around the atom. The neutrons and protons inside blink in and out of existence all the time. They are there as often as they are gone. A Nobel Prize Peace Prize winner stood up at the podium and he says in front of all the scientific community as he received the Nobel Peace Prize, I can say this one thing, and no one here can dispute the fact: matter per se does not exist. What exists is a tendency and a consciousness holding all particles into a subatomic orbit. Gravity, they don't know what the hell that is. But to tell you the truth, is what most things are based on. I'll tell you how stars burn in space real quick. It's called thermonuclear dynamics. Hydrogen. They say hydrogen atoms appear from nowhere. Look that up in the books, folks. They say the most massive thing in the universe is hydrogen and helium. because suns suck up hydrogen and burn it and then put out a lot of helium. But anyway, hydrogen. That's how come the sky is blue. Hydrogen is the smallest atom known to man. It floats the highest, so it's least affected by gravity. And when light shines off of hydrogen, it shines blue. Keep game. Now, I told you about I was in the hospital and stuff like that, but when I woke up, one day I was down in the boiler room on the USS Tarawa LHA-1, and I was first I was sitting down on some deck plates, and I saw some wire brush bristles laying on the decks. I picked up some, and they were shaped like V's. I made one partially open and one completely open, and I hooked them across each other, and I was able to make them go any way I wanted. I was shocked. I said, "Whoa!" And then I broke up coat hangers, got bigger pieces, and started practicing doing this here. And I was amazed. And I can tell you, folks, this here, faith is how it works. People who tell you they move stuff with their mind, they didn't move nothing. Here's how it works. You must convince yourself that it is already happening. How I did it was I told myself it's moving fractionally and it's picking up speed real fast, and I can see it happening, and it does. And I can tell you something else. When I tried hard, like it jerked as it went, and I said, "Well, what's up with that?" I try hard to try again, and it jerks as it goes, because I started sliding things across tables and all kinds of stuff, But anyway, I figured out the reason why it jerked is because I was trying hard. I was trying hard because I thought it was hard. If I convinced myself it's simple as a pie, it happens automatically. And it jumps. Sometimes things will jump. I had something jump out of my hand. Scared the heck out of me. But I'm going to tell you something. Some doors are best left closed. I proved it to myself. Then my imagination started running away from me because I knew that there were more things going on that we cannot see. And sometimes you can open up doors to see stuff you don't want to see. I got over my problem with using dreams. Dreams taught me how to get over fear, because I realized in a dream when I was being attacked very viciously that I was giving this creature the power to do this thing, and I took the power away from this creature. Indians dance, Indians duck and dodge demons and spirits all the time, and they're called shamans, those who survive that path. Well, gotta admit, they got some huevos, whatever. But seek out that power that is creative and loving. Trust me on that. You know what I found out? I was homeless for a while there, and I had it going on bad. Now I'm doing pretty darn good. I'm not going to give you all the specifics, but I can tell you it's a lot better and getting astoundingly better. But you know what I found out? Jesus, when he said, "If ye abide in me," first he told me, "Seek ye the kingdom of heaven, and all these things will be added unto you." You know what I've become obsessed with telling people what I'm telling you and telling them about God. And you can too. When you do some scientific study, you do some study and you find out for yourself. I've had some spiritual experiences, so you don't have the benefit of those things I've had. Some people call me a dream walker. I've been asleep. I be asleep and know I'm asleep. And I go search for answers in my subconscious mind because I know the answers are there. Question I wanted to ask: how might I benefit by knowing all this stuff is real, without being immoral? Cheating, making the dice roll this way or that way, or a slot machine, or manipulating a person. All these things to me are immoral and sinful. So what good is it? You know what? Somebody asked me, many guys in the Navy, they asked me, what good is it? And I could not answer that question because I had to answer myself that question. Hey, about that Navy thing, I got called to officers' quarters. The USS Tarawa, the XO, called me up to officers' quarters and said, "You're working down in the boiler room and we've got you in charge of a lot of people. We've got you in charge of a lot of people down there. We are trusting our lives to all the men working down in the boiler room. We need them all concentrating on their jobs. I've been getting reports that you've been moving things down in the boiler room. Several reports. The boiler room's a dangerous place. I want you to go back down in that boiler room and concentrate on your job. And if you're going to move things on your own time. I was trying to show people faith. But you know what? Like I was going to say, though. See, you can do this, too. I found out one thing. I'm nobody special. Everybody's got this power. And much more. Way more. As a matter of fact, this earth and we are not what we appear to be. Since all matter is energy. And did you know that scientists say that since all matter is energy, wave, and it comes from a wave between particles that's like a horizon, a playing field. It's like a fish in the water. All particles are in this here water. The particles are made of the water. The wave, it's localized through intention. Intention creates results. It's creativity and imagination and stuff, and God got a lot of it. Did you know that this unlimited potential in the universe, unlimited potential for existence of all kinds of things, even things big as planets that eat people that's alive. Unlimited diversity, unlimited potential. That's why all snowflakes are different, fingerprints are different, you're different. But you know something? You got an energy in you that's awesome. You have a spirit like a God tore a piece of himself off and then sprinkled it, ground it up real small like talcum powder, and blew it in the wind. And it was all consciousness, blank slates. And then he started making subatomic particles act certain ways to give our blank slates a point of reference between near, far, hot, cold, light, dark, good, bad, dislike, want. You get opinions. Did you know? Check this out. They just found out that the atom that circles, the electrons that circles the atom theoretically, they go in two different orbits. One orbit is a high orbit when it emits a light that transmits energy about itself and what it's attached to, where it's at, about its environment. Including you got atoms made in you. It tells all of it. When it's in high orbit, it radiates. Then it goes back to its low orbit and it takes in information. Subatomic particles communicate with each other this here way over vast distances. That's how scientists say they can take identical isotopes and make them thousands of miles apart from each other, thousands of miles, and heat this one up, and this one will react the same as this one at the same time, even though they are thousands of miles apart. The reason why? Because that wave between particles is a zero distance consciousness. Put that in your pipe and smoke it. It's the truth. And it's Jesus and God's consciousness. Now, if God is creative and created all things, he had to tell people what's going on, so he sent somebody. I wouldn't be surprised if Jesus came down here in many ways, many times, in many places. And I'm talking about the universe. What I'm trying to tell you, folks, and I mean this from the bottom of my heart. Jesus said, you know what? As a dream walker, I went to the Himalayas because I wanted to go talk to a shaman in the cave. I wanted to know how I might profit from this information without being a bad guy. I stepped over the food at the mouth of the cave in the Himalayas. It's off in China somewhere. How did I get there? I learned to travel while I'm asleep, or while I'm conscious. If you try to catch a bus or a taxi, it takes too long and you get diverted. You never make it there. Close your eyes, snap your fingers. Close your eyes, imagine where you want to be. Snap your fingers, open your eyes, and you're there. That's how you do it when you're dream walking. And if you want to learn how to dream walk, you can do it. Anybody can do it. Just practice reading something, look away from it, and read it again. Do that many times a day for about a week. And you will do it in your sleep. And every time you read something in your sleep, it'll say something different, and you'll catch yourself in your sleep a lot. And then you wake up. But after you do it a few times, you'll learn how not to wake up. And you'll be able to go places and ask yourself questions, because there are answers in you. Here's the answer I got, though, when I went to the Himalayas and stepped into that cave to go talk to a guru. I expected to see a skinny old man, very long hair, probably floating. What I saw was what my heart and my mind told me was Jesus Christ. And I had a million questions for him about metaphysical things. And he started walking away from me. And I said, hey, you didn't answer my question. I felt like I had asked him a million questions, but I do not remember asking him one. And he stopped and looked at me and he said, why must I tell you what you already know? He said, why must I tell you what you already know? You know what? It took me a long time to know what he meant by that. I woke up upset. It took me some time. But then I realized I've had many dreams and many experiences. And when I was moving things, I knew I wasn't moving it. The key, faith. You must convince yourself it's already moving. It's a leap of faith. It could be sitting there still as a rock. Convince yourself it's already moving. That's how we separate ourselves from the animals, ladies and gentlemen. We affect our universe around us. And I thought it was electromagnetic, so I used wood and plastic. It works the same. I've made things floating on the water all become magnetic and hug each other. And then when I got tired, I let them go, and they all float the way they want to go. But you know what? I did that to prove to myself something. But I'm trying to tell you something much more than parlor tricks. Please, that's nothing. I don't even do it anymore. I'm trying to tell you. Jesus said, if ye abide in me, and I in you, you may boldly approach the throne of grace and ask of my Father whatever you will, anything, in my name, and believe in it, you shall receive whatever it is you've asked for. He said, were it not true, I would have told you so. Notice the lilies of the field, how they grow effortlessly, and they neither toil nor spin, yet they are arrayed with far more beauty and splendor than King Solomon could ever pull out his hip pocket anywhere, or his pantry. But basically, what I'm basically saying is, I found the key. Jesus Christ said, when I set you free, you are free indeed. Did you know the Romans had a key? There's a video about the key. You ought to see it. The Romans knew this is secret. They know that faith works whether you're a good person or not. And that's how come they are witches and stuff like that. But what would you want to be part of? A nourishing, healthy, vibrant, loving universe? Or live in a dark place where people think they're happy? Did you know that ghosts, I believe, are all lost spirits who did not seek after God? Check that out. You see, I'm having fun telling you people about this here. I tell people on the street, in the store, at 7-Eleven, everywhere. But I'm going to tell you something. When scientists have been doing studies, if you look it up, you'll see. Scientists have been doing studies on people who can communicate with the ghosts through radios and through cameras. And they had ghosts talking through radio. They unplugged the radio, ghosts still talking. They took bulbs out the radio, was still talking. The ghosts are just talking through this radio. And they was asking questions. The scientists. And they asked them, what does it look like where you at? And the ghost said, he said, well, I can't quite answer that question. Excuse me? Okay. Now, they went on by that, and then they asked them like a whole other question. These ghosts all sound scratchy. You can hear scratchy ghosts, and they say, it's my daughter. And she said, oh, yep, that's her. That's Bernice. Bernice or whatever. Let me tell you this here. They asked another guy, what does it look like where you at? He says, tell that camera guy over there who take picture ghosts to put the cap on his camera lens and take a picture over there that way. And then look at the film. You know what came out? faces in the dark. Faces that look like bubbles in the dark. That's right. But heaven is lit like gold. You know, heaven, it's got gold clouds. It's got gold, it's music. It's got emeralds and sapphires and music, and it's beautiful. That's heaven. I'm trying to tell you. These people are in some place where they seem to be happy. They say, I'm okay, I'm fine. You'll be here. That's what they say. I think they're in the waiting room. That's why they're stuck on earth. The Bible says to be absent from the body is to be present with God. That means in the spirit world. And I think that those who have been saved go directly and pass go. You see, God doesn't deal with time the same way we do. Oh my goodness, don't you know about time? Everything's moving faster than us. Don't you know it? Everything. And the closer you get to the speed of light, time slows down. And now scientists assure that there are speeds faster than the speed of light. And even worse than that, wormholes. The shortest distance between 2 points is a straight line. No distance. Zero distance. Almost like through the consciousness wave that Einstein said exists. See, Einstein said there's a conscious wave. That wave of energy. He said if the energy from that wave ever turns off, all particles, cohesion would fall apart because they are only waves of energy being directed from what scientists would call, look it up, the source. Well, hey, I hope I get a chance to talk to you people again. I hope I get a chance to put this on YouTube. But you know what? Please believe me on this here. God loves you with it. He's not. Your Holy Spirit is in you, and He's looking out of your eyes. He sees what you see. He sees how you feel about what you see. If you feel with despair and all you think about is despair, your subconscious is going to have a tendency to think that the thing that you think about the most is the thing that you want, and your subconscious will be struggling to produce exactly what you be thinking about the most. And if you're thinking about being broke, then that's what it's going to produce, being broke the most. You got to take that leap of faith. You know what Jesus told me? He said, why must I tell you what you already know? You know what He meant? He meant, let me do it. You don't have to be immoral. You ain't even got to risk it. Let me do it. Trust me on it. Call me on it. He said, but seek ye first the kingdom of heaven. Hey, let me tell you something. There's something about geometry everybody on earth should know about. The Buddhists, they've been doing it for thousands of years. Looking at these mandalas, they're very, very colorful tapestries of symmetrical designs. And there's something about the universe construction and the depth of our human consciousness that we can actually gain from studying mandalas. Telling you the truth. I'm just now starting that, but you know what? I got it on tapes and stuff. I ain't want no poster just looking at it. I got videos of mandalas. It's almost like a hypnotic thing, but actually it's just beautiful. And what they say is they say studying the mandalas. They don't say stand there and go in a trance. They say look at all the intricate designs and the depths and the twists and the turns. They want you to study because your mind tries to figure things out, and your mind does figure things out and don't tell you about it. And then you end up having benefits. They're supposed to be phenomenal. You are. But I tell you one thing, if you want something, don't think about, I ain't got it. I'll talk to you people later. Peace out, and God bless you. Some friends call me Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. But you know what? God tamed me. That's the truth. Bye.